Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So here I want to cover how many boon points you actually need and how you can get all of them for as little as 1.3 million astral diamonds to get them with as little playtime as possible. You can of course spend like a week or two and get them all without paying a single penny. Now, as you may know, boons come from adventures and they also come from campaigns, all of which can take quite a substantial amount of time in order to complete, in order to obtain them. Therefore, you might be tempted to spend resources like Zen or Astral Diamonds to get past this quickly. You can see one of the ways that they monetize the game is campaign completion tokens. All of these right here. You switch to a fresh character who's not done a single campaign, and yeah, you can see the amount of ones here. It's kind of crazy. And all of them generally have a base cost of 2,000 Zen. So you could be spending well over 20,000 Zen just to get all of them, to get these campaigns completed. Alternatively, you're spending probably upwards of 100 hours completing all that content, not to mention all the time gating, because every single campaign has like a weekly haul and then you have to come back the next week to continue your progress. And as of late, these campaigns take a full 10 weeks to complete. But once again, let's go over how you can get all of the necessary boons in order to compete with the damage charts in just one day, probably about 3 to 4 hours, and 1.3 million astral diamonds. Ultimately, what you want to do is pretty much just get 65 boon points. This gets you everything you need. You get nearly all of the offensive stats here, including your movement speed and including the 5 boon points for against specific enemies. Then on advanced, you get the forte. Nothing else here is very necessary as a damage dealer. You don't really need the 4% action points. You don't really need the 4% recharge speed. It's going to be absolutely like unnoticeable effect. The master boons is where it's most important. Bloodlust, life lessons, and blessed advantage are the 3 you pretty much want maxed out on all the damage dealer classes, except life lessons for a cleric. If you're playing a tank or a healer, you can kind of just ignore all of these. They're again just such minuscule bonuses, you're not really going to notice it, other than potentially 4% outgoing healing on the healer there, with maybe the forte and like the incoming healing and stamina on a tank. But still, you'll be very easily able to complete all content without a single boon point on a tank and a healer. But if you want to compete as a damage dealer, it is recommended you get these 65 boon points, and you need 65 to get these 3 master boons maxed out. You can change the order and slots here of these other ones, but I don't see a big need to get any more than this. Because again, like 5 boon points here is giving you 1% power, 1% combat advantage. The main impactful one here is 5% damage against like demons, like fiends, if you're facing them. But that will vary on content whether you need it. So overall, 65 is what I say is all you need. Bloodlust. Very valuable damage bonus, and that is why you kind of want to go for it. You'll see on your character logs like here, Bloodlust won't account for a lot of damage, but the main bonus is actually the passive effect, which increases the damage the target takes by up to 3%, and you want that 3% here. Then you also want life lessons on the majority of classes, because just you'll be attacking with at-wills for quite a bit, and so like 2% additional damage gain can be like 7 million damage there. Here on Bard as well, on your Rogue, and they all gain a decent amount of damage from that, except your Cleric, who basically doesn't use any at-wills. And then Blessed Advantage can give you 15% recharge speed, which is about the most valuable thing there. And if you're newer, you're getting the 6% power when you're playing in a party content for quite a lot of the time. And that's the 3 boon points you want to get, and you have to spend 65 boon points in order to get them. I'll just show you here. I'll retrain, remove all of these, and you can see we've spent 0. So initially we'll just put 5 into power here and then crit strike. We'll get the movement speed. And if we're running, say, the Lair of the Mad Dragon dungeon, get the demonic mastery. Then we'll get like power, crit severity, more power, more power. And at this point you've spent 40. So you can already put some points into your master boon. So 2 into bloodlust, that's for free. The next one, 2 into life lessons, that'll cost us 4. And then 2 into blessed resilience, that'll cost us 6. We can commit those changes. We can see we've spent 50 already. We can then put them into our forte here. Since we've unlocked those advanced boons, that should be 4 more. And all we need to do is spend 6 boon points. So we'll just put 5 into combat advantage and 1 into accuracy. Commit that, and that is 60 spent. And then we can get the 3rd tier on bloodlust for free. Then another one for life lessons, that costs us 2. And then 3 for blessed advantage, that costs us 3. And you can see 65 boon points, and that's it. That's all you really need on a damage dealer. You don't need to go getting all these defensive ones. So what do you need to do in order to get that many? 65 boon points. What are you required to complete in terms of adventures and campaigns? Well, you can very simply do all of the adventures and you already obtain 35 boon points. You can see that with this table here. However, I would recommend just leaving out Undermountain and Elemental Evil unless you've never played it, because that can be very lengthy. You have to go through like entire zones, massive quest lines. It can be fun again for your first playthrough, but it gets very tedious once you've done it already. So if you do leave out Undermountain and Elemental Evil, you'll be at 26 boon points. And then at that point, I would also just leave out Roth Valley and just be at 25 boon points. So 25 boon points, we need 65, so we're just looking for another 40. Well, we can go to campaigns and we can go to legacy campaigns. And they're very easy to complete, particularly when you get ×2 events like all the time. Nearly every week we have one rotating, and so right now it's Path of the Fallen. You can jump in there and you can pretty much get it done within 1 week because you have the reset on Monday, so you'll have a bunch of days from Thursday till Sunday to get the first weekly haul. That'll be here. And then you have the following reset on Monday and you'll be able to get your weekly haul again. So from Monday to Thursday. And there you go. You've got basically 4 weeks worth within just 1 week. And that is usually enough to complete all of these campaigns. The exceptions are going to be your Jungles of Chult, which takes 8 weeks normally. So it would take 4 weeks with your ×2 events. And then I believe Storm King's Thunder is going to take like 3 to 4 weeks as well, because the sheer amount of boon points here. And the main gate is going to be actually like Von and Blood. Now you can speed all of this up further just by creating signets on alternate characters. So if you've already done this campaign on a character, highly recommend it. Just farm a bit of currency. Spending the 50,000 Astral Diamonds can be well worth it, and you can half the costs again on the campaign. So if you've done that just for Chult here, created the signet, you can complete Chult within 2 weeks. The entirety of it. Just be aware you're still going to have to do a bunch of questing, and you could get all the boon points you need for free. However, you're probably like me. You don't want to step foot in those areas again, or you at least want to do the bare minimum. Well, then genie gifts are your friend. You can see that every single legacy campaign will allow you to trade in genie gifts for currency. And you want to do that during a ×2 currency event on top of having a signet of patronage. So you go to a character where you've already done this, as you've most likely done it on one of your main characters. Just get a little bit of currency on that character and create this. Then you'll come here and you'll use that signet. All the costs will be halved. And then because the ×2 event, you're getting double the currency. And then because genie gifts, you can obtain that currency right away. And you can complete all these legacy campaigns super cheaply. You're going to need to create, yes, 8 Signet of Patronage for each one of these. That's 400,000 Astral Diamonds. Then if we look at the genie gifts required in order to get enough currency for all of the boon points, you can see you just need 98 of them, about 99 of them rounding up, in order to get 41 boon points. Now, as I showed you, we got 25 boon points from the adventures when we take out those 3. So we just need 40 more. We don't need 41, which means we can look at the most expensive boon point, and that's going to be Storm King's Thunder here. Just cross out this boon point. Don't bother getting the 7th one. You can do it later. And so you can reduce the cost then down to just 90 genie gifts needed. And that's where we end up with the total of 1.3 million Astral Diamonds. Again, 400,000 for the 8 Signets of Patronage that you'll create, and then the remaining 900,000 for those genie gifts. It will vary from platform to platform, but right now on PC they're just under 10,000 each. So we have it at about 900,000 to get all 90 that you need. So that's ultimately it. You can get all 65 boon points for as little as 1.3 million Astral Diamonds. There is absolutely no need whatsoever to spend any of your Zen on these campaign completions. They're an absolute waste. Never get these guys. Literally the only one I would recommend getting ever is if you're playing the game for the first time, get the Dragon Slayer campaign. It has a lot of value and a lot of time saving. This thing will allow you to complete that campaign, and that's not the main goal. The goal is to actually get Dragon Hunter rank 100. You open this pack and it gives you that. On top of that, it gives you the necessary resources to obtain a mythic armor piece, which is super good for the amount of stats it gives you. It's a massive damage bonus when you can get your hands on that. So here we'd have to claim the plates and also the decayed elemental strands. And now you can see you can purchase that mythic armor piece. This mighty Chorus is invaluable on the majority of classes. However, I would take the sharp jacket on Rogue, as they're more valuable taking that critical severity because you have much harder time to maintain the stats from the Mighty Chorus, and you have Forte, which gives you combat advantage already, and you can get a headpiece with bonus accuracy versus a lot of classes which cannot. That aside, I hope this video at least makes you aware that you don't really need much more than 65 boon points, and you can get all of them fairly easily. You just need to complete 5 of these adventures and then get enough genie gifts to be able to just instantly complete all of the legacy campaigns. Just be aware, some of them do have a little bit of extra requirements, like you will have to do a little bit of the storyline on Avernus and Path of the Fallen. And again, if this is the first time you're doing these campaigns, they will take a bit longer because you won't be able to create signets. And I think that's fine because you're experiencing the game for the first time. I don't think you should be rushing. Take your time, complete the campaigns, enjoy their storyline, and yeah, just enjoy the game. Don't rush. Once you get to the end, you end up with nothing to do. And like myself, once you have done that campaign, it gets hella annoying to have to do it again. So creating these signets of patronage are a huge help combined with those genie gifts. And yes, now is the week, or at least when you see this video, the ×2 legacy campaign event should be active, allowing you to, yes, exactly take advantage of this, gaining all that bonus currency with those genie gifts, or even just doing your quests, and allowing you to very, very easily get all of those boon points that you need. If you're looking to create a warlock for, say, the next module, excited to see the new changes that'll come to it, then yeah, go get those boon points. Prepare yourself already. Absolutely no shame in meta hopping if that's what you enjoy. The game's here to have fun. Don't let anybody ruin it for you. You can play who you want to play. But ultimately, hopefully this is somewhat insightful. A special thank you to all these channel members for your extra support. And we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.